My name's Tamsin. I'm so pleased to be talking to you all today about presence. I'm going to say it really slowly. Presence. Where are you right now? Are you here right now with me listening? Or are you thinking of 100 other things? Presence is about trying to come into contact with what's really happening, with accepting what's happening around you. Some people talk about it as like being not in the whirlwind of information and complexity that we have swirling around us, our full inboxes, but sitting at the middle of the cyclone, the eye of the storm, and being able to see what's happening in a moment. Presence is something we can feel in our body. In fact, it is being present with what we feel in our body, whether that's the wind on our arm, the touch of our fingers together, the feeling of our heart beating, which when you're really still, you can feel in your chest, the sound of my voice delicately flowing into your ears without you doing a thing. There's a lot of calm when we become present because we're utterly accepting what's going on around us. That isn't always easy to do. I think we spend a lot of time trying to avoid experience. We think maybe if we experience everything would be in a kind of overwhelm, but actually it works the other way around. The more we can accept, the more we enjoy the experience. There's an example of when I was young. I'm sure you all have your examples as well of nature and feeling in presence, where I'd climb to the top of my grandparents' cypress pine tree and lie out across the branch and let the sun fall on me as I watched the farm and the workings of the farm and the cows and the clouds roll by. There was something in that moment that brought me into presence. I've described two kinds of bodies, our physical body in presence and the natural, the earth body in presence. So the feeling of the tree and the earth and the sound of the cows. And there's a third body of presences too, which is the presence that we have with other people. Being with someone in a way that we feel accepted and heard, and we are accepting and hearing them. Each of these forms of presence require us to be, I guess, kind of friendly with our experience and maybe a little bit accepting of whatever it is, whether it's a sensation that has no words, rather than rejecting it, saying, I don't know how to describe that in my head, just saying, I wonder what that is. In fact, using in the kind of third person, this idea of the felt sense of something is incredibly powerful. You can kind of coach yourself through something, but you can also sit with other people and say, what is your experience of this? This shift to friendliness with our experience, to being in the present moment, is incredibly powerful for our nervous system, but also it's really important when we're dealing with any kind of change process. The research has shown that leaders that are present are able to usher change through because people see that they're listening, they're aware, they're seeing the color, the noise, the gestures, the movements in a really clear way, rather than getting ahead of themselves and thinking that somehow they can predict the future. They're sitting with what is and working in a kind of emergence. I've worked with leaders in emergence my whole life, and it's extraordinary to see what happens when you become present. But don't take it from me. Why don't you try it? Take a few moments out of your day, become present, and see what it is that just naturally emerges in your life and in your days.